in the assembly of the pure. We're told in Acts chapter 9, reading from verse 26. Acts 9, verse 26. And when Saul was come to Jerusalem, he siege. That word of siege, you remember your friend? He tried, he attempted, he tried to join himself with the disciples, but they were all afraid of him and believed not that he was a disciple. Are we looking for multitude to the point that an undependable, immoral, injurious, licentious person comes in, and we with open, come in. Why don't you check up? They didn't understand, they didn't know that he had been converted. And even though he was a highly placed figure in the religion of the day, now he comes. They said, no, you will not come into the inner circle. There are people that come, you know their private agenda? No. You know their intention? No. And then he wants to immediately associate with the apostles. Don't gamble with the purity of the church, the purity of the assembly, the purity of the audience. Many people are too quick, a cheap, traditional chief, with all the baggage they have in the past and in the community. They are calm. Then we introduce them to the apostle, to the overseer. The overseer takes him in and think of what happens. Like Simon in Samaria, joining himself with Philip, beholding what was being in the hearts of the people in the past. And he now said he was converted, he was even baptized in water, and his true identity was not revealed until Peter and John came from Jerusalem. And they laid hands on people, and they received the Holy Ghost. And he now came out, give me this power. I was popular before Philip came. But now, since Philip came, seeing all these healing, miracles, deliverances, I've lost my place as the most popular person in this part of Samaria. Give me this power, that on whosoever I lay my hands, he will receive the Holy Ghost. And now I can shine again. I even want to shine beyond and above Philip. Know them, know their hearts, know their private agenda. With all due respect, I respect all our women, all our people who know the Lord. But a woman is brought into the assembly, and you don't know her background. Israel had been going on, and somebody became a king over Israel, and somebody introduced a lady, a charming lady, an effective lady, a lady of consequence, a lady of intelligence to the king. His name Ahab. And with both hands, Ahab welcomed Jezebel. But Jezebel did not come alone. She had the worship of Baal in her heart, and she had personal, private agenda to bring Baal worship into the land. Be careful when you stretch out your hand to embrace, to accept. And as these popular ladies, and a lady that can draw crowds, a witch will draw crowds like herself. A worldly woman will draw crowds like herself. A sorcerer will draw crowds like herself. A Jezebel, Baal worshipper, will draw crowds like herself. A worldly woman, society woman, will draw crowds like herself. And then you begin to give them recognition. Before we know that they are truly born again, they are converted. Well, the early church was very careful that they will not allow the intrusion, the coming in of Saul to pollute the assembly of the pure. They were not sure of his agenda. Talented people, great. Popular people, great. But understand by the Spirit, by clear evidence, they don't have a private agenda to corrupt the church. The incorruptible renewal of the audience in the assembly of the pure.